you should tell us about metanoia. Like, okay, quick poll. Okay, like if you'd come in and we'd like put up a list of the 9 keys ahead of time and said, Robert and I are going to be handling different ones of these, we're going to be taking the lead, and one of them was metanoia. How many of you would have thought it was going to be me? Robert? Yeah, you would have been right. Dr. Holden.
Oh dear, very good. All right, so just for fun, we're going to talk about metanoia. And metanoia, I did a whole year on this program. It's very exciting, and we're going to do a very short bit because you're all going to get into an exercise, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Okay. So, metanoia is very exciting because it's a strange Greek word, and you've got meta, beyond, and then you've got noia, which is thinking. In order to experience the miraculous, we have to be able to go beyond our thinking every now and then. We must not take our thinking to be the limits of what's possible. So all of us are going to see if we will live a metanoid life, that's for sure. We are living it already. So metanoia is very cool. So this all comes back to, so Jesus has had these 40 days in the desert. Okay, he's been hanging out, really hungry, thirsty, and he has his temptations, doesn't he? He's having all the temptations. What's the desert? The desert, in mystical terms, of course, is a wilderness. So he's in the wilderness. How many of you have been in the wilderness in your life ever? Have you had a wilderness time? Because you're in the wilderness, and we know about that. It's not easy. It's difficult. But you hang out in the wilderness for long enough, and in the wilderness is often where the birth happens. We don't like wilderness, but in wilderness, in the wild, this is where the new birth begins to happen. Anyway, out he comes after doing his 40 days. 40 is a mystical number in mystical Christianity, always tells you about a journey. So he's had his 40 days, and he's had this amazing experience. So when he runs out and sees everybody, he says, repent. Yeah, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And that sort of means, hold on a moment, everybody. Change your mind about everything you know. We're not getting to heaven. Heaven's already here. Now, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He's come out of the desert and he said, I've changed my mind. I've had a change of mind. And this is the bit where we all come in. When in your life have you really had a change of mind that made a difference to you? Can you look at your life and say, yeah, I used to think this, but now I do think this? Can you look at your life and go, yeah, my great mistake was that I used to think I had to deserve happiness. Now I know you don't have to. That's a metanoia moment. A metanoia moment is, oh, I thought I had to be good. Now I'm aware there's an original goodness. That's pretty cool. A metanoia moment is, oh, I've been really trying to improve myself. And now I realize that actually things improve when I'm not trying to improve myself. So this is a metanoia. You're having a moment where you're changing your mind and you're demonstrating to life, bless you, you're demonstrating to life that you can, and to the universe, you're changing your mind about something. And it's really cool to be able to change our minds. In the early days, we spent all of our time making up our minds. And making up our minds is a cool thing, because if we didn't make up our minds, the chances are we would be schizoid or psychotic in some way, and we wouldn't fit in with the world. So we make up our minds for a while about stuff. But over time, hopefully, we have this capacity to let ourselves be inspired and to allow for a eureka or an epiphany or a new idea to land in our mind. And we go, wait a minute. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm going to change my mind about that. That's a cool thing. We play a game in the world at the moment where you're not allowed to change your mind. You notice it particularly in politics and elections, where somebody says, well, I think this, and then the journalist says, yeah, but in 1972 you didn't. In 1972 you said this, and now in 2024 you're saying that. So how can we trust you? Because in 1972 you said this.
So you get this thing of like, oh, yeah, we're not allowed to change our mind, but of course we are, and thank goodness we do. Because a change in mind normally happens with a change in consciousness. So, one of the great metanoias, by the way, and then I'll stop, the great metanoia is the shift from I am a body with a soul to I am a soul with a body. That's a metanoia right there. That's an exciting one. All right. Here's a roomy one. I've been a seeker, and I still am. But I stopped asking the books and the stars. I started listening to the teaching of my soul. That's a metanoia. Do you get a feeling for this? A fundamental change of mind. A fundamental shift in approach. So the question is, and this is the question you're going to take into a conversation. The question is when you look at this lifetime as a whole, what is the change you have made? So we're going to start with the past. What is the change you've made that changed everything? That's the question, okay? What is the change I made that changed everything? And I want you to think about that for how you got to here. But now that you're here, what is the change you could be making now that would change everything? So your past and your present questions. The past, the change that you made that changed everything, and now the present, the change you could be making now that really would change everything. Okay. Now remember, this part of our being can't answer this question. It just doesn't know. The answer doesn't come up here. The answer is received here, if that makes sense. But it's only received here if we start to work here and here first. So get into your being, into your heart, and then hopefully something will appear in there. But don't start here.